This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
ICCC to commence nationwide price surveillance and inspection exercise. The National Climate Change Summit ends. And police ready to carry out operations this independence. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. The Independent Consumer and Competition Commission has announced the commencement of the nationwide price surveillance and inspection exercise effective from August 23rd of this year. This is following the measures issued by the Office of the National Pandemic Controller on the 30th of March, considering the global inflationary pressure experienced in the country.
According to the Commissioner and CEO of ICCC, Pauliasain, global inflationary pressure have occurred due to various factors such as the increased demand, supply chain disruption, international conflicts, rising commodity prices and changes in currency values. This pressure leads to general rise in prices of goods and services across the country. Mr. Ain also highlighted that it is important that consumers must be aware that most of the prices are increasing due to the fact that businesses are trying to cover cost of importing goods overseas.
Generally, from the first two exercises, we are seeing that prices have actually gone up. And the reason that we are establishing from those initial indications and from what we have been receiving over the years on the price increases are basically cost recoveries.
To avoid businesses taking advantage, the ICCC takes on this exercise of implementing price control and elaborate on the purpose of implementation of these price measures.
What we are doing is not to stop the price increase. That is, everyone out there must understand. It is to manage price gouging. Is that in a situation like this, some business houses will be taking advantage of the situation and increase their prices to disadvantage or to rip off our consumers. So this exercise now has been fully funded by the government.
There are two phases to this exercise. One is to do inspection and phase 2 is to penalize those that do not comply. According to Mr. Ain, the first exercise was carried out in Port Moresby and Central Province. Second team have been deployed to Milne Bay, Manus and Oro Province, while the rest of the country will be visited after the independence celebration. Commissioner Ain appealed to business houses to seek approval from ICCC if they want to change prices on the shelves to avoid penalty charges.
Business houses that wish to increase their price will now seek the approval of the ICCC. Any business houses that fails to seek the ICCC's approval for any price increase will be penalized with a monetary amount of 10,000 kina. So this amount is a deterrent, and we apply to business houses that fail to comply in seeking the approval of the ICCC to increase the prices.
This implementation exercise is funded by the national government under the Treasury Department with the funding of 2 million kina. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Driving to drop off her children at school and doing other work-related runs is Rachel Lopoi, who noticed the increase in the fuel prices, questioning what the national government is doing to solve the increase in the fuel price.
Fuel price now I'm rise from 3 kina 17 toya, now I'm go 4 kina 50 toya. So people working class, even the middle class, people don't have cope. Fuel. Now, I don't know what the government is saying about this, but me got off school picking anyway. Me say transport him all by myself, morning and evening. Me say kiss him 100 kina fuel or 26 liters, but now it's 21 liters. And big placard of straight 5 liter, I'm not got now. So we are getting towards the independence, and I don't know if there is something good the government has for help for this nation and for its people. I'm concerned, Blomi. Thank you.
The National Climate Change Summit ended today at the APEC House. The two-day summit brought together heads of organizations, academics, and commissioners and head of departments and dignitaries from various countries in the region.
Some of the main objectives discussed at the summit was how to identify opportunities that PNG can use to strengthen resilience among victims that may be affected by climate change, ensure representation, inclusion and protection of rights of those that are affected by climate change, and opportunities that can promote and advocate on climate justice and social inclusion. Minister for Environment, Conservation and Climate Change, Simo Kilepa, thanked the organizers of the two-day event.
How can these actions be implemented, and who can implement this action as a country going forward? The National Climate Change Summit is a key step in shaping our nation's destiny and contributing to the global struggle against the defining crisis of our time, climate change. To this end, I commend the management and staff of Climate Change Development Authority, CCDA, headed by Acting Director William Lakain, for hosting this summit.
That we have made globally in the Paris Agreement, that has, inspired the world, enabled the world to come together to start talking about action, what we need to do. That's a very important, starting point for all of us. What we have committed to, and for us in PNG, what we have committed to in the Paris Agreement.
Also present were dignitaries of other neighboring countries, as well as representatives from organizations that deal with the conservation and climate awareness. French Ambassador Guillaume Lemon also had the opportunity to speak about climate change in PNG.
As you know, Papua New Guinea holds one of the most critical reserves of carbon and biodiversity in the world, and it is vital for the international community to support PNG's efforts in protecting them.
With the theme for this year promoting climate change and social inclusion, most of the vulnerable are solely impacted by changes that can contribute to loss and damage that can eventually contribute to climate change. The summit has brought together relevant representatives of organizations who discussed on issues and policies relating to climate change development and issues affecting the environment on a global stage. Tamara Agavi, National Emtv News.
Meanwhile, Australia will support a new research program for small grants for emerging cohorts of climate change researchers in the country. This was revealed by the Australian High Commissioner to PNG, John Philp, today at the final day of the second National Climate Change Summit.
This initiative was designed in collaboration with the Climate Change and Development Authority, the National Research Institute and the PNG Science and Technology Secretariat. All of them really good partners for Australia in these areas of research. It will support a small group of masters and doctoral students to complete funded research on any topic relevant to the Papua New Guinea government's climate priorities. And after a year of research, the successful applicants will be given the opportunity to deliver their findings at next year's National Climate Change Summit.
Prime Minister James Marape, upon his arrival from overseas trip, said that claims made by the former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill mentioning health supply challenges only serve to draw attention to his dismal record of health delivery failures. Marape said instead of throwing stones from a glass house, the former PM should come to the table and propose workable solutions to the problems his government inherited in areas such as health services.
This issue, please confirm to this Honourable House
Prime Minister Marape said it is a blatant hypocrisy for the former Prime Minister to be talking about shortages of medical supplies when placing that in perspective, comparing the situation to the healthcare disaster the country were experiencing when he lost government in 2019. Marape highlighted that he will accept criticism from those with clean hands, who have not had an opportunity over almost 2 parliamentary terms to fix a broken down system. The Prime Minister said that the system is meant to function even while the head of the government is away from the country, and the former Prime Minister would be in a better place to know this. He said there will be shortages at times, as occurred in most health systems, and when this occurs, there is a swift response seeking to fill the gaps and restore supplies. Prime Minister said that the previous government cut health budgets, and so health services, particularly in rural areas, were reduced and buildings and other health facilities declined. He said his government is restoring expenditure and improving facilities yearly. Marape added that under the previous government, health workers left to take other jobs. In the last budget, the government allocated 1.67 billion kina in operational funds to address critical manpower challenges. He concluded by saying that this is the reason why government has appointed the hard-working Dr. Lino Tom to the Ministry of Health to help drive the government's health agenda forward. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with more stories. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. A press conference was held today at the Boroko Police Station where Acting Commissioner of Police and Division Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. with Metropolitan Superintendent Silva Sika and Central Provincial Police Commander Laimo Asi unveiled the plans for the Independence Day operation in the National Capital District and Central Province.
With Papua New Guinea's 48th independence just around the corner, police in the National Capital District and Central Province are gearing up to ensure the safety and security of residents and visitors during the independence celebration period is monitored so that people can enjoy a peaceful independence celebration in the city. Metropolitan Superintendent Silva Sika says police will increase their presence across Port Moresby, covering all key areas of where the celebrations will be taking place.
In here I want to make an appeal to everybody to know that we are also prepared, the police in NCD, we are prepared. On top of the existing metropolitan units here, the sections, I also included the reinforcements from our support units from SSD and dogs, National Fraud Squad, water, police, everybody are coming on board to support us and to reinforce us, our manpower here. So you'll be expecting almost 500 plus police personnel. They'll be spread right across the city.
Central Province Police Commander Chief Inspector Laimo Asi also made an appeal to his people in Central Province to have a peaceful celebration.
Celebrations organized by the community must be celebrated peacefully, orderly. What we have experienced in previous activities like Christmas operations, Easter operations, independence operations, we have a lot of accidents that have occurred. And deaths that people have died, seriously injured, fights have occurred just because of the stupidity of certain individuals within the community who tried not to have peaceful celebration.
Acting Commissioner of Police and Division Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. is appealing to the public to celebrate the independence celebration with meaning as the country turns another year old.
Let's have respect for each other. Understand the meaning of our independence celebrations. It's not another party period. We have to reflect back on our country and see how our country can progress even further. We have faced a lot of hurdles along the way, but we are a very young country. You compare this to other countries in the world. 48 years, we're still a young country.
Police are urging citizens to cooperate with law enforcement officers to follow security protocols and report any suspicious activities quickly. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
Central Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Laimo Asi has announced today that he has decided not to impose alcohol ban in the Central Province during the independence celebration period.
Central Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Laimo Asi has declared that he will not impose alcohol ban in the Central Province, demonstrating his trust in his people to make wise choices during the 48th independence celebration. Chief Inspector Asi says he has consulted the Governor for Central, Rufina Peter, and other provincial executive officers who have agreed to allow alcohol consumption with the condition that the consumers must behave.
Independence celebrations, I decided not to put a ban on the liquor, use of liquor, purposely to put a trust back to the people that you take your liquor to the village, you consume it where your house is. You don't drink it along the highway. Why can't we always liquor ban, and then everybody brings in homebrew, drug into the communities? Because there's liquor ban, so they have to look other means to start having homebrew.
As per the announcement, Chief Inspector Laimo Asi has appealed to the parents, community leaders and elders in Central Province to keep their children in line during the independence celebration period.
We need some control from the elders in the community, making sure that especially the parents, you take responsibility over your children. Not me, because those are not my children.
PPC Asi says local beer shops in the province are not supposed to operate on the Independence Day, and they will breach the laws which will affect their business. However, they can operate before and after the public holiday. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
Nawai district in Morobe province has launched its 5-year development plan successfully yesterday. The plan aims to improve and develop infrastructural services in the district, was launched by Prime Minister James Marape and the district MP Teo Peleng.
Nawai is the second district in Morobe province to launch its 5-year development plan after Menyama. Prime Minister James Marape said the local MP's dream for his electorate is a good dream and he will support that because it is in line with the provincial and national government plan, especially the MTDP4. Marape said in the next 5 years, every district will receive 100 million kina for development. The Prime Minister also promised to give Nawai district 5 million to carry out development plans for the district. Nawai MP Teo Pelgen said the current government has knowledge of the situation that have been overlooked for many years and is trying to help the people. Meanwhile, Morobe Governor Luta Wenge also pledged 5 million to support Nawai district's development goals. Gladys Skila, National Emtv News.
The people of Maprik district in East Sepik province gathered in numbers yesterday afternoon at Boram Airport to receive the casket of their late MP Gabriel Lenny Caprice. Late MP Caprice succumbed to death due to health issues on the 13th of August 2023.
Members of Parliament from East Sepik Province joined the Deputy Speaker Connie Igwen, PNC Party Leader Peter O'Neill and East Sepik Governor Alan Bird to welcome and receive late MP's casket at the Boram Airport yesterday. The Deputy Speaker Connie Igwen officially handed over the casket of the late Caprice to the East Sepik Governor Alan Bird and members of the Provincial Assembly and Provincial Administration in front of East Sepik Provincial Assembly office. The casket will overnight at Dr. Kambo's residence at Wewak Hill before he is repatriated to his final resting place in Maprik. The casket arrived in Maprik district from Wewak this afternoon. The casket left Maprik at 5 p.m. today, bound for Brigham High School where the casket will overnight. Gladys Kila, National Emtv News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2760 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Yokina was buying $0.2685 US dollars, $0.4152 Australian dollars, $0.2421 euro, 39.14 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National Emtv News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Chief Executive Officer of Cricket PNG, Richard Dunn, today announced that Kumul Petroleum PNG Barramundis will be departing to Malaysia to participate in the Malaysia T20 Tri-Nations Cup. This announcement was made at the Amini Park in Port Moresby today.
At the media conference today at the Amani Park, CEO Don announced that the team will depart to Malaysia on the 17th of this month. The team include Captain Asad Vala, Hiri Hiri, Kipling Doringa, CJ Amani, Lega Siaka, Sema Kema, Ale Nao, John Kariko, Nosana Pokana, Rayleigh Ekure, Michael Charlie, and Norman Vanua. They will compete in the Malaysia T20 Tri-Nation Cup that will be hosted in Malaysia and will commence on the 19th of September. On the commencement day, the match will see Hong Kong go against Malaysia, followed by PNG going head-to-head with Malaysia on the 20th, and on the 22nd, we'll see PNG go against Hong Kong, then Malaysia against Hong Kong on the 22nd, then followed by PNG versus Malaysia on the 23rd, and on the 24th, we'll see PNG going against Hong Kong. According to the team's head coach, Tatenda Taibu, the team displayed high-level skills and look forward to the match. Sharon Engnui, Trukai Sports.
The 2023 Pacific Games, which is less than 2 months away, will be hosted by Solomon Islands. In preparations for the Games, national federations in the country have been busy working closely with their athletes, going through physio sessions, training and attending other events, both national and international events in preparations for the Pacific Games. Team PNG is expected to send a large contingent to the Solomon Islands, but unfortunately some sporting codes that participated in 2015 Games won't be attending. For now though, training will be their #1 priority for the athletes, as selection trials are yet to be played for most of the codes, while others have already selected their final squads through the... That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby City, windy and sunny. Daru, partly cloudy and windy. Kerema, few evening showers. Alatau, evening showers and windy. Popondetta, few showers. In the Momase region, Lei Wiwek and Vanimo, brief showers. Medang, partly cloudy with possible evening shower or two. And in the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau and Kavieng, brief showers. Kokopo and Rabaul, few evening showers and possible thunderstorm. Kimbe, windy with evening brief showers. Buka, few evening showers and thunderstorm. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, few showers and possible thunderstorm. Goroka and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with possible evening drizzle. Mendi and Wabeg, evening showers and possible thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Wednesday, the 13th of September 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.